going to help you. So, first of all, what is an essential question? What might it be?
It's a question that's necessary.
It's necessary. Good. What else? What else does essential mean?
Important.
Important. Anything else? Yeah.
Helps the paper come together.
Helps the paper come together. So maybe some cohesive types of questions. What else might be essential? Someone said last hour, and I liked it. It was relevant. Making sure that it's pertinent to the topic that we're talking about. So based on your paper and your topic of heroes and heroic deeds and a person, what might be some essential questions that you should be asking as you research that need to be answered in order to have a good paper? What's some good questions that you should be asking to answer? Yes?
Why is it important?
Why are they important? Why is that person important?
How are they important?
So I'm going to put how, why. Is that person important?
Why are they important?
Okay, what else? Might be in a where? Where is their influence? That actually is a really good question.
Was there like
To the extent to which they were important. What magnitude?
when they were born?
So, where they were born, what might that be as a bigger question that might be more relevant? Yes.
Like what time period?
Time period. Why would time period?
Because depending on what the time period was, that's like certain people looked up to.
Right, because there's a basis for what their definition of heroism is.
Era is going through at the time.
Right. So society's needs and definition of a hero.
They were to go with stuff like this, like Camelot, like they wanted King Arthur because he was
Right, and so this
that's
is
what
a
they needed, but that's what they didn't.
right. And so what did they help develop in society and maybe help influence? Right. So that's an excellent question to ask about with your hero. Yes.
Why the reader should care.
Why the reader should care. Why should they care about this person and topic? Okay, what else would be a good essential question to ask? Yes.
Who did he impact?
Who did they impact?
And was it just his group, or did it expand like past or his like town or worldwide kind of thing?
Breadth, yeah. So local, global, etc. Okay. What other things might be essential questions you should be asking or could ask that would help with your research? Yes.
How did they like accomplish something?
How did they do what they did? And maybe you have to ask the question, what did they do specifically? Do. How did they do it? Are they still influential? Still a hero? Okay, good. What other questions might be good questions to ask?
Why did they do it?
Why did they do it? Good. What other things might you be looking for as far as essential questions? I have one for you. How does how they were raised or how did or does, I guess they could still be alive, influence who they became.
That's a big
Okay. What else might be a good question? No more questions? I got one more then for you.
Well, we have another thing paper like this on information.
Yes, but not on questions. That was on divisions of information. The other thing is like maybe who inspired them.
I asked that yesterday.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to do it again.
Oh, I didn't answer it yet 'cause I thought you already had the other paper.
But that's not the essential question section. So who inspired them? Because that might be a division, but it may not be a question, or you might not have that division, but you might want that information. So, you might come up with more questions. You might not use all of these questions. You don't have to. But what you're going to do with your outline, along with the major divisions. So yesterday, we went over how to divide up your paper and start outlining it and organizing it. So for example, my person was Thomas Malthus, so I have a broad topic. And then I put that I'm doing a little bit of background, my major divisions of discussion that I'm talking about in my paper, and leaving places to put my sources. You don't have your sources yet, but you want spaces and places to put the sources as you find them, places to write that in. The other thing I want you to do is add in the questions. Some of these questions maybe will help you find information for your division areas more than other questions. If you don't have a question that fits that area, find a question that will, or 2 or 3 questions that you should be asking to help you find that information when you put it in there. And I want you to write in those questions. It can be before the sources, after the sources, I don't care. But in your outline, I want you to write down the questions you're going to be asking and answering as you research. Now the reason that we do that is because when you're reading through a whole bunch of information, when you've got a stack and a pile of articles or a book, and you've got all this information going on, it can be very easily overwhelming. You can get sunk into it. The kids from last year are going, yeah. It's very easy to get sidetracked and just not know where to go with it. But if you already have your major areas of division, so you already know what kind of things you're looking for, and then you also have your questions that you're going to be asking or wanting to know and answering, and you can add more as you go. Remember, outline's not set in stone. You can always ask more questions. It will help you to focus your reading, and if you come across the answers, you highlight them. And if you do an alphanumeric or numeric or Roman numerals with your questions, you can just mark on the article number 1 right next to that answer, and then you've got the information as you find it already organized for yourself. Alright? So, any questions about what I'm asking you to do with your essential questions? So you're going to write them into your outline as well with your outline. Tomorrow, you're to bring your outline with you to class. That way I can look at them and make sure where you're going, that you've got good questions, maybe help you come up with a question if you don't have enough questions, that you're on the right track as far as your topic. You've given me your proposal. I've approved your topic. And if I haven't approved your topic because you didn't turn in a proposal, you should definitely bring that tomorrow, because you shouldn't be onto this until you've done that. Otherwise you're going to maybe have to redo something if it's not approved. And I want to check that you've got good divisions, that you're not going to overdo yourself, that it's narrow enough, that you've got enough to go from before you start researching. I promise you that it'll make the researching easier. Okay? So, that's what we're doing there. Alright. So,